Hi guys, hello and welcome to another C# programming tutorial. Today we'll talk about arrays. An array is a list of data items that all have the same data type and the same name. Each object in an array is an array element. You can distinguish each element from the others with the help of a number that is given to each box within an array. These numbers are either called subscript or index. You have seen in C# programming prior to today that we use parentheses and we use curly braces. Today we will use a different kind of a bracket which is called square brackets, which is generally used when you are declaring an array. As you can see in a comment over here that I would like to declare an array to store 3 scores. So arrays are declared with a square bracket just like this. It means that I am interested in declaring an array of type integer and the name of the array is scores. Now I need to tell the compiler that I need to allocate some memory, and this is done with the help of the keyword new. Now in C# programming, the arrays are objects of system.array class. However, this may not be the case in Java or other languages, but in C# that's the case. So that's why we call it the object of array type. Anyway, to make it short here, then on the right hand side you have to retype the data type and you need to tell how many memory blocks do you need. These memory blocks are called indexes or subscript. Now when I say I need 3 boxes, it pretty much means I need 3 boxes numbered 0, 1, and 2. Total 3 boxes. It doesn't mean 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the number of the first box is 0 and not 1, therefore the maximum index number is always n minus 1. So for example, if 3 is n, n means the highest number. So the last index number is always n minus 1, which is total minus 1. Why is the first element 0? Because that's the starting point of an array. And each index from there onwards is the jump from the start. And each box is fixed size. So for example, if each box is 2 bytes, and if I have to jump 2 boxes, that basically means that I'll be jumping 4 bytes, and that'll be right at the beginning of the 3rd box. So that's the calculation that goes behind the scene for an array. Now once I have declared this, I can now start putting values in this array. And the values are done exactly the same way that you would do for a variable, and that is you write the name of the array and you put in an index number. As I told you, it's 0, 1, or 2 for the size 3 array, and you list a value. And exactly the same way you can do indexes for the other 2. Now as far as displaying an array, again, the displaying logic is also same as displaying a variable, that you do your WriteLine, and within that, for a variable, you will just simply write the variable name. But for arrays, you not just write its name, but you also write its location, like index location, where in the array it's found. So now let me show you this much, and then I will also display the other 2 remaining elements. And as you can see over here, that it shows 66 to be the output. Okay. So I'm going to add one instruction right before, and that'll going to be that I'm displaying scores. And if I want to display multiple scores, I will I can just simply list scores 0 space scores 1 space scores 2. Now again, this is a lengthy process of doing things, not preferred way of doing things, but just to show you that it can be done like a variable. Typically speaking, arrays, when you are dealing with an array, one of the advantages that all of these blocks of memory are continuous. So you can pretty much run a loop which will go through all elements, visiting each element through a loop counter. So for example, if I write a for loop which allows me to run through this array. I need a for loop that will start at 0 and we're going to end at 2. So I have a for loop, and then I can pretty much delete all this logic, leave a space here, and change the index number to I, and maybe drop this to a right so that all numbers are displayed on the same line instead of WriteLine separated by a space. And the program, when I run it, does exactly the same thing as it was doing before, 6679. Now comes another question. What if I want these values, 6679, since they're fixed, I'm not accepting it from user. Is it possible that I can just put those values right at the time of declaring an array? Yes, it's possible to do that. I could literally on the same line go and start listing the values 66, 179, just like that. I do not need to then declare them like this. And if I run it, you will get exactly the same output as before. It's 66, 179. By the way, line 16 can be written in 3 different ways. I could simply drop the 3 because I know that I have 3 values and run it. And it does the same job because 3 values automatically tell that size is 3. Or you can simply just drop this whole thing and run it, and it does exactly the same thing. Because those 3 values will tell the array that your size is 3. So when you are predefining an array with values, then you have 3 choices of working with this. Anyway, so this example so far declares an array with 3 values, displays them. Now, what if the values are 5? What if I want to have 5 values? Now, the array has 5 values, but the loop only goes till the 3rd value, so I may have to go 2 steps up to be able to display all 5 values, just like that. However, it could be tedious to always having to remember the number of elements in the array. So to make this easier, what C# does, it gives you a length property of an array which tells you how many elements are there. However, this is an error. Why this is an error? Because the length will tell you that there are 5 elements. However, for you, the last index number should be 4, not 5. And this loop will run 6 times, 0 through 5. Let me show you so that you know whenever you get this kind of an error, what exactly does it means. So now I'm getting an output, yet my program also runs into an error on line number 20. Why? It says index was outside the bounds of the array because when score index was 5, there was no such element in the array for index number 5, so automatically what happened? The loop failed. The loop failed, and that's exactly what happens whenever you try to go outside of the array limits and you get this error message, index out of range exception, or index was outside the bounds of the array. The fix is very easy. Anytime you're reliant on the length, simply go 1 less than the length. That's about it. And that will fix your problem. And now you get your output perfectly fine. Okay. Now what I want to do next is I want to be able to store the sum of all scores. So I'm going to declare a double sum equals to 0. And something that I taught you last week where we learned to do cumulative total. Now it's up to you. You want to display add the value to the sum before or after the display. It doesn't matter. You can take the long form of storing the value. Okay. This is the long form. Or since the sum is on both sides, you can actually take the short form too. It'll going to be doing the same thing. Now outside of the loop, what I need to do is I need to display the sum is, and then I can display the sum. And as I run my program, I need to do one more fix because I am not doing a write line here. I'm doing a writes. I'll do a new line so that the sum is gets to be displayed on a new line and not on the same line as the last number. And now when I run the program, I get this output here that scores are these, and here's the sum. If I want to calculate the average, that can also be done. All I need to do is, and I don't need a separate variable. I can, but I don't need to. I can declare I can just do an expression right here, which is to take the sum and divide it by the length of the array. Simple as that. And I could use a number 5, not 4, because 4 is the maximum index, the total number of 5. Or I can just simply put here scores.Length. And that makes my life a lot easier rather than having to remember how many values are there. And now when I run the program, it gives me the output here. Okay, the scores are these, and sum is this, and average is this. Okay, now since 435 is completely divisible by 5, so you get a whole number. Now let me tweak my numbers around a little bit. Maybe make this 82. Okay, so now I know that I have a number within the 2 multiples of 5. So just so that you know, since I'm using double as a data type, the average does comes out and preserves the decimal places. So what we have looked at in this example so far is that how you declare an array, how you store values in an array, how you declare an array and initialize it with values in all 3 different ways of doing it, and then how you can calculate the running total of an array and how you can then display that along with its average. Hope you would have learned just a little bit about working with arrays in this example. In the next examples, we're going to explore arrays in C# a bit more. I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.